right, we're going to go ahead and come to order. Go ahead and start. So thank you for being here tonight. Anybody like to utilize other forum?
Okay, I'm going to go first and just kick us off by introducing our special guest tonight. So for our three pointers tonight, we have Mr. Mike Kinsler, who's the Director of Office of Sustainability. Mr. Kinsler has been also working with SGA this year. We've gotten really close to him in his office, and he's been helping us with some of our initiatives, specifically our composting initiative and some new security things that we identified on this campus. So we're really grateful for him and his partnership, and I'm excited to introduce him tonight to come speak to us a little bit about sustainability. So give Mr. Kinsler a hand.
Well, thank you all. Thank you, Julianne, for that introduction. I'm really happy to be here. Just to start with, I have 3 minutes. Sustainability is really about being open to new learning. It's about seeing the world as it really is. It's about clarifying our values, and it's about learning how to work together so that we can intentionally create the world we want to see show up instead of just accept whatever it is that does show up. So with that in mind, I want to talk to you about these 3 pointers have to do with the inner work of leadership so that we become effective agents for positive change. And they're things that are dear to me that I work on all the time, so I'm not just saying this off the top of my head. The first one is a quote from a theologian named Frederick Buechner who said, "To find your mission in life is to discover the intersection between your heart's deep gladness and the world's deep hunger." Because if we can discover that intersection and live at that crossroads, then we have an immense power and capability to bring positive change to the world. And whenever I've done workshops that involve this thought, whether it's middle school, high school, college students, or mid-career professionals, it doesn't take long to rattle off a long list of the world's deep hunger, the needs of the world, from personal and interpersonal to global challenges we face. But I find that most people have a really hard time articulating what their heart's deep gladness is. In fact, I've had people say, "Mike, I have no idea what that is. I don't have a clue." It's not something that's cultivated in us, and that's a shame. So I would ask you to think about what that intersection looks like for you. Second pointer has to do with the heart's deep gladness in another way. It's another quote from a theologian, Thomas Merton, who said, "In all visible things, there is a hidden wholeness." I find that so inspiring. Think about an acorn. I meant to pick one up in my driveway. There are thousands of them falling all over my yard. This little nut has everything in it needs to become one of the largest living organisms on Earth, an oak tree that can live 400 years. It creates its own climate. It's home to countless organisms. During the growing season, it pumps oxygen into the atmosphere and draws out carbon dioxide. The list goes on and on. It creates shade, not to mention how beautiful it is to look at. All from this little acorn that all it needs is sunlight, water, and soil. So think about what it means to cultivate our own hidden wholeness. The other example I like to think about is Michelangelo's statue of David. You know, it may be the most important, it's certainly the most famous, I think, sculptor ever created. It was said that when he carved that statue, he didn't really carve it. He released it from the stone. Again, it was perfect in there already. He just chipped off the overburden. And as we grow up and grow older, you know, the overburden of battles and challenges and fears and anxieties and troubles tend to glom onto us. So this discipline of discovering our hidden wholeness and expressing our heart's deep gladness chips off that overburden to reveal who we really are. And then the third pointer has to do with 4 questions that I think underlie the whole sustainability movement, because this movement is based on human values. It's based on the world we live in and the world we want to create. And you've all heard these questions before. You've all been taught them growing up. And here's the first one. How am I showing up today? Am I discovering my hidden wholeness, and is it becoming more apparent? Am I really discovering my heart's deep gladness? The second question is, what kind of an influence am I having on other people? Do you know it's really possible to intuit the hidden wholeness of another? And when you do that, they feel it. They sense it. And so they leave that interaction much better off than they were before. They feel seen, and they feel honored. So we can be intentional about how we interact with others. The third question is, how am I treating the world around me? Certainly the built environment, but especially the living earth. We're utterly dependent on the planet and its functioning for our existence. And as the Alabama-born Harvard biologist E.O. Wilson points out, in a very real sense, it doesn't matter what we think about where creation came from, whether it was a freak cosmic spark 4 billion years ago, or we have a literal translation of the Bible and was created in 7 human days. In either case, the earth that was created is one that supports all life so that it flourishes, including human life. And the last question is, what am I leaving for people who come after me? Do my footsteps result in regeneration, healing, generosity of spirit, flourishing? Or do my footsteps result in a more barren, unloving, uncaring, and desolate earth? I really believe that as we develop our own hidden wholeness and express it, and nurture others to express theirs, and if we can all intentionally answer those questions and say, you know what? Yeah, we're doing good. I think we'll be fine. So that's really the essence, I feel, of our work, our collective work. Leaders, whatever stage we find ourselves in. And I hope you found these little pointers useful, and look forward to seeing more of your hidden wholeness revealing itself. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you again for y'all listening. But yeah, that was good. I definitely take all that into account. So, anybody else like to utilize that forum?
Hey guys, we're having a reverse town hall tomorrow. It's going to be specifically on housing on campus. And so the format of the reverse town hall is basically going to be like, we're going to them, meeting them where they're at. So we're going to have volunteers in the residence halls soliciting feedback through all our answers about just general housing questions, concerns. Like, we have some laid out questions, which I'll let Luke talk about, that say like, this is what we're aiming to get at. This is the feedback we're aiming to get from this event. This is what housing administrators want to know about this year. So I'll let Brooke talk a little bit about that, and then we'll do some sign-ups.
So this is an idea that we got from UGA. So they actually did something similar to this, where they went to the students and got feedback about housing. So we're just trying to ask them questions like, what do they like about housing? What can be improved about housing? What has been their favorite thing about living on campus? And so this is really, really important, getting this feedback as we continue to advocate for students as housing changes are going to be made in the future. So how it's going to work, we are just going to get you all to volunteer for different times during the day, so you'll be stationed at different places. But just a few reminders, wear your SGA t-shirt, and it will be cold tomorrow, so as soon as you get in the building, just take it off so you have on your t-shirt and people can see who you are and you're not just a random person approaching them. That's huge. And then it is huge to call their residence halls. They're not dorms. Dorms is just a place where you sleep. Residence halls is where you gain experiences and grow and do things. So that is huge to housing administrators. So if y'all volunteer, please remember to call them residence halls.
And then, so we're going to get people for each hour. We're working from 9 until 2, so the last hour you can sign up for is 1. And then we'll go through in the spreadsheet and kind of put you at a certain location, and you'll get an email tonight with like really specific instructions. So who can do 9 o'clock?
9 a.m.
9 a.m. Anyone else can do 9? Oh, stop.
You can go ahead. Come on.
And then 10? 10 o'clock? They're hour shifts, sorry. in our communications with housing people, we have stressed that we will have people at each dorm at a certain time. So we've talked to the RAs and like they're letting their residents know that we're going to be in Sassaman at 10 o'clock or whatever. And so we want to make sure that we are there getting that feedback. So if you have an hour, please give your time so we can get good feedback moving forward. So 11. Sit up.
All around once, guys. Don't strain yourself.
Can you do 12?
Woo!
And then 1 o'clock.
So, this is not done. I don't think it's like actual.
Oh, Pearson has it.
All right, well, yeah, if y'all do have time to vote, if it's not even a whole hour, if you can go for 30 minutes, whatever the case may be, I encourage y'all to at least try to go for a little bit. If it is an issue with the hour versus 30 minutes gap, in those areas. But,
And like I said, you'll get an email
Yeah.
with instructions if you get time. So thank you guys.
All right, anybody else? Open forum?
War Eagle, y'all?
Eagle.
Yeah, so this week for Spectrum, our meeting is going to be about intersectionality, and it'll be a joint meeting with the Black Student Union and NAACP. Also, this Saturday, we are hosting a formal at the Coffee Cat from 6 to 9. Tickets are $5, so you can always come out and support us. And if you were unaware, just like I was about 5 minutes ago, what intersectionality means, intersectionality is the interconnected nature of social characterizations such as race, class, gender, as they apply to the given individual or group, regarded as creating an overlapping, interdependent system of discrimination and disadvantages. So I'm sure all of you are pretty aware that the diversity score here at Auburn isn't that great. So actually coming to this meeting and learning about all the differences and learning about different genders, different classes, different races, different all these things would probably be very beneficial for you in your office and being well informed and doing the best you can. Thank you guys so much.
When and where?
I'm sorry?
When and where?
Yeah, the meeting is here in the Student Center. I don't know the exact room number, but if you go up the big stairs and then take like a sharp left, and you go past the OID, what's that office right there? And then it's like the second door on the right. So it's like right there. Is there?
I'll find out from
Can I email you the room number and the time? Meeting is at 6:30, and they go till about 8 o'clock.
Yes,
I'll
that's room
find out.
2107.
Sorry?
That's room 2107.
Oh, is that the name? Because I know the usual one's 21/7, but I know it changes.
Yeah, it changes sometimes with reservations.
So we'll let.
Perfect, love it. All right, thank you guys so much.
Anybody else like to utilize open forum? All right, so now we're moving to roll call. So senators, please pick up your iClickers and click A.
Tap's got a bid. You make a piece of paper for these.
All right, who's that? All right, minutes were sent out electronically, but I'm gonna, let's vote on them next time. I know they were today, so we'll just kind of let y'all review it for another week. But yeah, make sure you review that over this next week. If you see any errors, let us know for the meeting next time. So now moving to reports of officers. So, Julianne.
Okay, so y'all will see some of these next to you, and I'm sorry I did not make it over to y'all. I'll have to bring this up. So these are stickers for the Donate a Dollar campaign.
potentially put yourself in a situation. Okay, so a decent amount. That's great. And so you're gonna have another opportunity to do this next Monday. So SGA is partnering with ISO, VSU, and Spectrum. Those are first ever Breaking Barriers, where we're gonna be talking about university recruitment and retention, and how that relates to students. What are we doing to encourage students of all backgrounds to come to Auburn? What scholarships are we giving them? What amenities are appealing to them? And then once they're here, what are we doing to keep them here and to make them feel safe and appreciated, included, and truly a part of the Auburn family? So this is going to be a two-part event held in this room from 5 to 7 p.m. next Monday. And so the first hour is going to be small group sessions, and so you're going to be divvied up into different groups. And then the second hour is there's going to be a panel with different administrators that you can ask questions about what is Auburn doing to change the culture. If you guys are able to, I would really love to see all of you there. It's going to be a really awesome time to get to know people. And like Tyler Ward said tonight at Cabinet, part of the Auburn Creed is the human touch line, and you can't engage in that human touch if you don't know the person that you're talking to. So come meet some new people, share your ideas, and most importantly, listen.
War Eagle.
War Eagle.
Want to emphasize what Ashley said, couldn't agree more. Breaking barriers, I think, is one of the most important things SGA has put on this year, and I'm really excited about that collaboration with ISO, Spectrum, and VSU. So it will be right before this meeting, so from 5 to 7 next week. Please make it a priority to come to learn more about people who you're representing, but also please bring a friend, please encourage your constituents, other people who are potentially interested in running next year. I think this is going to be a really valuable conversation just to learn from peers. So that first hour, that's all we're doing. We're sharing stories. We're working towards a change and understanding. And then to have, we've invited panelists like Dr. Woodard and Dr. Gaiman, who's over recruitment. So I think understanding is going to be so important. But would really love to see all of you there and engaged with an open mind at that discussion. And then I do have one quick update on something I shared at retreat this past at the fall retreat. So Julianne, Jacob, and Logan Easterling have been working with the Office of Information and Technology over the past couple months. And we have some good news regarding a central mobilized mobile application. And so they've identified that we need to redo AU access. And so Lucian, who's a partner that we work with to power that, has come out with a new technology called Banner 9. And so we're going to be upgrading all of that. So the way AU access looks from all facets is going to look different, but that's going to also include mobile functionality. So that's going to include how you register for classes, Tiger Scheduler, DegreeWorks, all of those things, as well as registration. So I know that we've been getting a lot of questions after registration last week, but really, really excited about the changes that are coming with that. But part of this is also going to be part of the mobile functionality is going to be a skin that encompasses that entire mobile part of AU access, as well as different student service apps. For example, the rec app, Tiger Dining will be included on that, the safety app, the transit, and the campus map. But I wanted to ask y'all, maybe even if you wanted to service some of your constituents, we got some great feedback from Cabinet about other things we should look into, including like AU Involve, dibs, looking and see how much money you have left on your Tiger card. But does anybody have anything off the floor that they'd like to share to make sure it's included? Or, yes?
One thing we talked about in our committee meeting is trying to schedule tutoring sessions through that app.
That's a great idea. Perfect, I'll bring that to them too. Yes.
So maybe there's already a way to do this, but last year they awarded like the final four tickets based on like a basketball, like how many games you went to.
Right.
So maybe do that for like all sports or something. Just like if you
Say
swipe
table
with your
with
guide card to see how many games she's into.
That's great. Thank you. Yes.
Should I have like a directory of contacts in the app? Because sometimes it's like hard, like when you're reserving a room to like find numbers for like the library or like the graduate business building, something like that.
That's great. I know that there's going to be an advisor portion where you'd be able to call your advisor or find their office for office hours pretty easily. So it should be, that's a great point. Yes.
I better say, if there's a way to incorporate like people finder on AU access into the app, I feel like that'd be really neat.
That's a great question.
To go off, Carolyn.
Yes.
I
maybe like incorporating that closer. Absolutely, thank you. And that's one thing that's going to be cool about this entire portal is that we're going to be able to design what that looks like for Auburn students. So having that customizability is going to help us. We have so many great resources, like Phil was saying, but to be able to position those that in the most beneficial way to students. So we're really looking forward to that. But I would welcome and appreciate all feedback you have. Please ask your constituents, and please also encourage your constituents and friends to come to Breaking Barriers next week, next Monday, 5 to 7. Thank y'all. War Eagle.
Or you know,
Alright, is that it? Yeah, so that's it for, officers. Alright, now we'll move to reports of colleges, starting with at large.
Casting at large. So November 12th, the UPC is presenting David Dobrik, who is a YouTube star, and he will be 7 p.m. in the Student Activity Center. He'll be talking. And then tomorrow, we can all dump Mr. Senator Nunn at 11:30 on the green space for AUPO. So I encourage everybody to do that.
Alright, appreciate it. Agriculture? Oh, my bad. You said, what'd you say?
No.
Business?
This Friday at 3:30, FMA is hosting a leadership forum. It's gonna have 3 business executives speaking at it for just like an hour and a half. It's a really great opportunity for anyone to attend and just hear from business executives about their experiences and ask questions and have those answered. Also, if anyone's minoring in business, there's an opportunity for you to study abroad. That information is on the College of Business website. So I encourage you or any friends who are minoring to look into it because it's a great opportunity.
Alright, Co-sound?
No report.
Education?
No report.
Engineering?
Meeting, engineering. The engineering ticket is looking to find all our new members. We're getting in the process of narrowing down who we're going to sit down on our ticket for next year. So if you all know anybody interested in running for Senate on engineering, please let us know.
Forestry and wildlife? Grad school? Grad school?
Sorry.
It's not good.
There's a mental health forum this Thursday that the Graduate Student Council is putting on. And so it's specifically for like graduate students who are also parents and who are juggling both of those identities. But that could also be, like undergraduate students who are also parents. They could come to that as well. So like I said, it's this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. And it's in Mel 3520. So all about mental health aspects.
Cool, thank you. Human sciences?
Huntland Human Sciences. So me and my student council are partnering with the College of Human Sciences Ambassadors to host feedback days this Thursday and Friday. So basically what this is going to look like is the ambassadors are going to be in the lobby of Spital collecting feedback from students regarding core curriculum for human sciences, working with your advisors and your academic experiences. To then be able to take that to the dean, conduct some feedback, and also see students who would be interested in hosting or us hosting a town hall this spring. I'm really excited about what that feedback is going to produce and how we make our college even better.
Liberal arts?
no report.
Nursing?
No report.
Pharmacy?
No report.
Vet med?
Sure, Batman. I just wanted to share that AUCBM has raised $2,860 plus those non-perishable items for Beat Bama Food Drive. I know we all like when Bama goes down, so I wanted to encourage some healthy competition among the other schools. Thank you.
Thank you. Alright, so now we'll move to committee reports. Start with academic affairs.
No, engineering. Last Friday, we had a really good meeting with Mr. Bob Yerke, which is the building manager of the library. They were very, very interested in a Scantron solution. So we were talking with them, and hopefully we'll have something in place by the end of the semester. We will be meeting with Dr. Ruthie Spears this week about an advising website, and with this new app that Mary Margaret's talking about, maybe we'll be able to give some advice for that, to build that straight into the app, so we'll have to connect with that. Also this week, members of our committee will be reaching out to the Career Center so we can have a more broad understanding of how they feel about these career fair or job interview excuses. So we're going to be having that this week, and we are also going to be in contact with Texas A&M's SGA. They have a really good policy in place that we feel we want to kind of replicate and put what we think is right into it. So we'll be contacting their SGA this week, and so we'll give y'all an update on that. Thank you.
Cool. Budget and finance.
City business, hey, Mr. President, just starting off, y'all keep Wells in your thoughts and prayers. He's pretty sick. I think he has flu and mono at the same time. Really couldn't think of a worse combination. So keep him in your thoughts, reach out. You know, maybe good active service for him would go a long way this week. And also we need to keep Sam Dunn in our thoughts on the coldest day of the year to be done. So adding that to it. But in terms of the business going on that we have, carryover hearings are coming through tonight as current orders of business. Very excited about that. The Budget and Finance Committee is tackling the Finance Law Code, further code of laws in the coming weeks to really narrow in on equity throughout the future Budget and Finance Committees and making sure that we're voting along with the same set of precedents and whether we feel that that needs to be implanted into the code or not. So.
All right. Thank you. Code of laws.
War liberal arts. So in an effort to increase transparency and for things going through on my committee, tonight I just want to go over the first 3 bills and how we voted on them as a committee. So for all 3 of them, we did vote 5-0. They're code correction bills, so there wasn't any pros or cons that we had for them. We just knew that they needed to be fixed. But anything else coming through that we did maybe discuss or disagree on, moving forward, we want to just bring that to y'all, let you know any concerns that anybody had on my committee, so everybody can take those into consideration when they're voting. So thank you.
All right. Inclusion and diversity.
Awesome, Sam. So I have a lot of meetings set up over this week and next week working on the need-based scholarship resolution. I have some unanswered questions, so hopefully we get those figured out this week and we'll be able to continue that work soon. And since that's kind of on hold for the moment, we're picking back up on the inclusivity checklist, so hopefully we will have an update and that to the floor soon.
Student affairs.
Hope and large. Be sure to tell Joe Jackson Happy Veterans Day this week and thank him for his service. He's not able to be here today. For the next few weeks, the Student Affairs Committee is going to assess any crosswalks or any zones that we feel that are unsafe. And I just want to open up the floor now if there are any areas around campus or any crosswalks or any places where you think that they should have those blinking light systems.
So I know this one has been talked about before, and I feel like there's some reason why we can't get one. It's up by that library right there by the parking deck. It's not library, but
And I also think, like, for the most part, trying to come up with ones that are currently crosswalks, like those areas, more so. Is that what you're saying? Like,
Yeah.
having blinking lights also. My bad. So you're saying.
City business, Carr, I think it'd be very nice, and this would be a city project hopefully as well. I think every crosswalk on Magnolia, all 7 in a row, could use a flashing light because that's where a lot of late night traffic is as well. And also, this is just a concern with crosswalks. The village parking deck, I know a lot of people like to not use the crosswalk that's there and go down a little further just because it's more convenient. So just a thought, I know a lot of people cross and especially late at night, it's hard to see, so that might be something to look into as well.
Senator Bryan.
Yes.
Right, this is the one from South Donahue to Wellness Kitchen. I would also say all of the ones by Goodwin and I forgot what road that is, but it's by Sanford. It has a lot of foot traffic, just especially the music people, but then also people just living by the hill. There's a lot of people that people like to just jump out and just don't care if people stop for them.
Thank y'all so much.
All right. Freshman committee.
We got a report this week. So last week, I'll do what we did last week. We wrote thank you notes to the staff here who we feel don't get as much recognition as some people. So like the building crews, people who come and set these rooms up. Who else? We did Tiger Transit, dining, just anybody we could think of, parking. So I know the parking office is like out in the middle of nowhere, and I know they don't get much recognition. So and then this week we're working on our serve project. So working on the serving part of the decision. We're going to do a group project with Freshman Forum. So we're working on that this Thursday.
Right here. All right, executive.
Huntley Human Sciences. So some of you might have had some complications with filling out your office hour book. That is because there was a little bit of a delay in updating the book for November, but all is well, it is fixed. So if you weren't able to fill out your office hour, you can definitely do that now upstairs from tonight. But I'll actually come up here and talk about this now, how to set it now, the project to help everybody find a dedicated time, day, and place for your college office hours. So I'm really excited about this. I think it'll help make office hours more efficient, more effective, but also create more accessibility for your constituents and your peers within your colleges to also be able to find y'all. So I'm going to kind of, as a brief little overview of what we're going to talk about, go over the results, throw out some of y'all's ideas, because I did read through every single one of your survey forms, and you'll have some really, really great suggestions that I really loved. Then kind of going over next steps for y'all and for myself. So go to the next slide. So 20 people responded to the survey. Which was really good about this was that every single college was represented, so I got to hear from every single one of you in every single area of campus. 13 of you said that you do have a set location for your office hours. A lot of these might have been very specific. So it might have been the student center, or it might have been like Starbucks or something like that, instead of a dedicated time, day, and place. So with that, it kind of becomes a question of how do students differentiate you from your senator that they want to talk to versus just another student standing in louder. 12 said that they have a set time, which is really, really great. And then we kind of get into how are you marketing that time. So we'll get into that a little bit. On average, we're engaging about 5 constituents per office hour, which if you do the math, if every single senator is talking to about 5 constituents per week, that's about 170 people, which is great, but I definitely think that there's a lot of room for growth. If we're supposed to be representing all 30,000 students on Auburn's campus, I definitely think that there's some ways that we can reach more and more people during that time. And only one of you does your office hour with your school's council. So once again, I definitely see that as being able to have a time to collaborate with that group, as y'all are all supposed to represent the college. So these were y'all's ideas. So one of those was a designated location to conduct office hours, which is something that we're going to get into. Posting office hour information on SGA's website, which I absolutely love this idea, but we can't post it on the website if there's not a dedicated time, day, and place. QR codes for direct feedbacks to senators. So we'll kind of get into what that will look like, but basically that's, having a flyer saying, hey, this is my office hour time. If you can't make the office hour, scan this QR code, and you can submit feedback to us that way, which I thought was a really brilliant idea. More direction on topics to get feedback on. So this would look like, for example, we're really working hard on the centralized app that Mayor Margaret was talking about. So going to our colleagues and saying, hey, this week we're going to focus specifically on getting feedback about that. So kind of giving y'all some direction on what feedback to get instead of just having y'all run to your colleagues and say, hey, get feedback. It's like working on feedback about it. And then a sign to put up when conducting office hours. So me and Jeff are going to come up with some creative ways to help y'all differentiate yourselves when you're doing your office hours, but that is something that we're kind of working on that. So next steps. This is where I need y'all to meet me where I'm at. Because I can't go to every single one of your colleges and talk to every single one of your school's councils and say, hey, what's the time that works for all of you? Where works for all of you? So this is where I'm going to need y'all's help in order to make this process happen. So basically, I kind of broke it down by week. If you kind of follow this timeline, which you can be pretty flexible with it, but if you follow it, by next spring semester, we will have a dedicated time, day, and place for every single senator in every single college, which I think is fantastic. So after course registration, which have any of you not registered yet? Okay, just a couple people. So most of you have already registered. And so I'm sure that kind of correlates the same way with your school's council. So coordinating with them to find a time, like a dedicated time for next semester. Where there's a lot of work and you're not have your work schedule yet. So that's something that can kind of be flexible with this timeline. But if you kind of already know what your commitments are going to look like for the spring, what your course schedule is going to look like for the spring, you can go and create a doodle poll with your for this week. So basically that timeline looks by this Friday. Excuse me. So next week, you would talk with your school or college's advisor to establish a space for next semester. Now, I understand this is going to look a lot different for a lot of you. For me in the College of Human Sciences, our main building is Spider Hall, so that's really the only building I have to worry about. But let's say for engineering, y'all have Brown Coker, y'all have Rocks, y'all have Shelby, y'all have all these different buildings. So that's going to look like kind of maybe doing like a rotating schedule, so we're hitting all those different buildings during a period of time. And also throughout the large, I think that's going to look very different for y'all, because y'all are kind of all over the place. But in talking with Pearson and creating this presentation, he's more than happy to work on then sharing that information via Google Forms, saying what that's going to look like the last week of class. I'll send y'all a Google Form that y'all will then fill out with all this information that I will then be able to send to Jack to make those dedicated marketing materials for you to share with your constituents and put up around your colleges. So by the end of the semester, we should all have a schedule where everybody's going to be in the spring. And then lastly, that first week of classes, work with your advisor to share that information via the college listservs. I know every single college on this campus has them, where you get all the mass emails about the professional development things coming up and reminders about registration, and why not utilize that same thing to tell students how they can access their college membership. So working with your advisors to do that. And so what's my role in doing all of this? Of course, I'm going to be working with Jack to develop marketing strategies to advertise your office hours, including flyers, that QR code that we talked about, and also signage. And that kind of includes how do you differentiate yourself when sitting in a very public, crowded area, saying, hey, I'm your senator, come talk to me with your feedback. So we actually are trying to schedule that meeting for this week, so I'll be happy to give you all an update before that next week. Helps me to identify streamlined topics to get feedback on. So that might be like, for example, if the spring comes and exec is working on a project, that's me saying like, hey y'all, we're going to focus this week on specifically working on this topic and getting feedback about this. So helping y'all streamline that process, you know what to ask your constituents. Then lastly, serve as a support system as Student Senate completes next steps in preparation for next semester. So if you run into any hurdles or complications in accomplishing any of those steps, I'll be more than happy to help you talk to your advisor and anything like that. Pearson's also here as a resource, as well as Carlos. So if y'all need any help with this project, please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You should all have my number from the Connect. You also have my email address, so feel free to reach out. But I'll be including this PowerPoint in my email tomorrow, so y'all will have all this feedback at your fingertips. But that's kind of it for me, so if you want to up to the next slide. Does anybody have any questions? All right, thanks y'all. I'm excited about this project and working with y'all and making these office hours more streamlined for all of your colleges. Like I said, if you have any questions that pop up, please feel free to reach out. Thanks y'all.
Thank you. All right, so now we have reports of liaisons.
There was one.
Housing.
On now housing. Hey guys, real quick, application. Sorry. Our applications have opened up, so if you guys are interested in applying or you guys know anyone that's applying, please let them know. Thank you.
All right, so that is it for reports. Next, we have current orders of business.
PSSB 19111101, Chapter 202, Code Correction.
Spotted by Senator Kramer.
I move to pass this bill, Fred.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to adopt this bill. Is written. Is there any debate? All right, seeing none, we move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. This bill is adopted.
PSSB 19111102, Chapter 1010, Code Correction.
Also by Senator Kramer.
Move to pass this bill, Fred.
Second.
All right, moved and seconded to adopt this bill. Is there any debate? Seeing no one, move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. It's also adopted.
PSSB 19111103, Chapter 201, Code Correction.
Senator Buckton by Senator Kramer.
I'd like to pass this bill as written.
Is there any debate? All right, seeing no one, I move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye and click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and that bill's adopted.
PSSB 19111104,
one point of debate, city business on all the carryover requests, just for housekeeping. All of these passed with unanimous consent through each board.
All right, is there any other debate? All right, let's move a second to adopt this bill. Open the board, is there any debate? No? All right, seeing no one, I move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and this is also adopted.
PSSB 19111105 student governance carryover budget request.
Like by Senator Nye.
None at large, so Chris, I emailed you, I think, an amended copy. So I would like to, I guess, propose an amendment to this, just correcting my mathematical errors from last week. Yeah, the county major, it's worrisome. So, and I'm also adding on Senator Rutland's ISO carryover request as well, because taking this new fall county under the same portfolio. So, if there's just no debate, I move to pass this.
All right, let's move a second to adopt this bill. Just read. Well, first, we need to vote on the amendments. So, is there any debate on the amendments? All right, seeing no one, I move to a vote. All in favor of passing these amendments, please say aye. Click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it. These amendments will now be taken into account. So now we'll, is there any debate on the whole bill itself with the amendments? All right, seeing no one, I move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Click A. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, and this has been adopted.
Sorry about that. Should be a couple more if you want to try one. PSSB 19111106 student media carryover budget request.
Senator, oh, man, it's probably my Senator Gill.
Jill Cosam, I didn't receive any questions on this, I'm going to pass this bill to.
Let's move a second to adopt this bill. On the board, is there any debate? All right, seeing no one, I move to a vote. All in favor of passing this, please say aye. Click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and this is also going to be adopted.
Alright. PSSB 19111107 student organizations carryover request.
This brought to you by Senator Wagner.
Wagner Business, yeah, I didn't get any questions this week, so since it was as it was last week, if anyone has any questions or debate, go ahead. Oh, I'll just pass this written.
All right, is there any debate? Seeing none, we'll now move to a vote. All in favor of adopting the bill, please say aye. Click A. Aye. All opposed? Okay, the ayes have it, and this is adopted.
PSSB 19111108 programming carryover budget request.
Strong engineering. Oh, sorry.
It's on you. You got it.
I also didn't receive any questions, so I moved to pass this bill as written.
Second.
Move the second to adopt this bill written on the board. Is there any debate? Okay. Seeing none, we'll now move to a vote. All in favor, please say aye. Click A. Aye. All opposed? All right, the ayes have it, and this is adopted as well. All right. I believe that's it for current orders of business. So now we will move to future orders of business. And remember, yeah.
PSSB 19111801 chapter 300.1.1.1 code correction.
Right, Senator Willoughby.
So with this, we just capitalized student senate, that's all, in both places right there.
PSSB 19111802 chapter 300.1.3.1.1 code correction.
It's also Senator Willoughby.
I just had a period at the end here.
PSSB 19111803 chapter 308.8.1.2 code 7, Chapter 401.9.2 Code Correction.
Formal complaint, previously capitalized, not sure why. So, read that over, please.
PSSB 19111808, Chapter 500.12 Code Correction.
So previously, the graduate student council had been explained that when you abbreviate something, you're supposed to describe what it is. Did I email you the actors? Okay. Well, I chose amendments basically. Well, next week, I guess.
Yeah.
But, wait, so I think it was backwards. Yeah. So we explained it the first time and then put in parentheses GSC. And so then when that's repeated later on, it's clear.
PSSB 191118-09, Chapter 601.2.2.2 Code Correction.
Current was previously capitalized. There's that lowercase.
PSSB 191118-10, Chapter 800.4 Code Correction.
Selection committee was previously capitalized.
PSSB 19111811, Chapter 800 or 801.1.4.4 Code Correction.
Student organization previously capitalized.
PSSB 19111812, Senate approval of spring election dates.
If you all have questions about those, please let me know. I'd be happy to answer them.
PSSB 19111813, Senate 2020-2021, apportionment. I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, so we have the election dates that we have to approve through the code laws. And so we have November 20th is when the candidate registration form is due. We're changing it instead of declaration of intent. We want to use this form just because it's a little more clear and also a little less intimidating. And then formal campaigning is going to be the 29th through the 4th. And then voting day is going to be the report. And due to missing the place for voting, we're not going to have one on voting day. So that's what this is. It's going to be an amendment to take off voting day. I think I said those. So if you have any questions about those or any questions about the new system of those voting, please let me know. We're working on trying to get that as well explained as we can in the code.
PSSB 19111813, Senate 2020-2021, apportionment.
Alright, so this is the apportionment commission, and so we went through some enrollment for each of the colleges and put in that spreadsheet, and that is formula in that spreadsheet, it does all this calculating, so we have, as you can see, we work online, things have changed pretty much at all or any. Last year was a big change, and it will also be for Aurora University College. So that's what it's for, and that code, the chapter of the code is going to be changed to 1003.2. Because the way things were arranged, I'm not sure. So if you have any questions about apportionment or the voting days and election days, please let me know. I will be back on the
All right, that is it for future orders of business. So now we're moving to announcements, just a couple from me. First thing, some stuff that was already reported from the officers, but another thing I want to remind all of you,
Oh, next week, Maddie Taylor will be giving her dining presentation. And I forgot to make the announcement. I looked at Maddie a moment ago and I realized, yeah, dining presentation next week, so be prepared to come and with questions. And she's outlined a good presentation with 90 feedback. I think she broke the record with the amount of surveys that they received from Auburn Answers. Said something to
Okay, so November 22nd, like I told y'all, I think last week, but if the committee chairs just get with y'all in the next committee meeting of this week, talk about something that y'all want in the annual report. I know I've said this and I'm sure y'all heard from your committee chairs, but things that your committee's worked on specifically that you may want to be highlighted in our SGA annual report that we give out. And I know that's early, so things that are prospective that you may be finishing up with or plan to end by the end of the semester, just or end of the term, let us know. But November 22nd is that date. Again, breaking barriers, 5 to 7. I would like to see everybody out there that can make it. I know our meeting's at 7:30, so I'll be there and come straight here. I know your school's council officers have been notified as well, so it's also another opportunity to kind of grow together in that aspect. So love to see that next week. Senate Exec, I know we're winding down on the amount of meetings we have left, so do make sure you get that in for the end of the semester. Everybody has to go to at least one, and I know everybody hasn't quite yet, so make sure you get that taken care of. Also, probably the week after Thanksgiving, I think that's probably one of the last weeks that we can get legislation through in this term, so just food for thought. Again, that reverse town hall, I know that we said we did the live sign up, if you can find time, 15, 20, 30, whatever that is, it's not a whole hour in your schedules. I know everybody's busy, but please try to get out there if you can and try to help the team cabinet, and it's a big initiative they put on, so I look forward to it. And last thing was, I want to give a shout out to Senator Campisi for making a lot of catches in the amendments that we were supposed to have over this next week. I appreciate you reading over that. So, if there's any, I know that everybody else is obligated to do things in that nature, so thank you for making those changes, and look forward to everybody else being able to do that as well. And that is all for me on announcements. So,
two quick things for me. One, just a friendly reminder that campaign registration forms are due next Wednesday, the 20th, and Miss Auburn nomination forms, as y'all heard, are due this coming Wednesday. So if you're a part of an organization and you know someone's getting nominated, make sure that they actually fill out their form on the uniform for their candidacy. So again, Miss Auburn is this Wednesday. Declarations of intent for both major and minor candidates are next Wednesday, the 20th. Awesome job tonight with some legislation, both there's some needed changes to the code as well as carryover hearings. One thing I want to continue to challenge y'all with is how are we not only gathering feedback but using our time speaking in Senate to really convey to everyone about the content of the bill. So I think there's been some great conversations during future orders, but as we've talked about, I think before, would love for us to almost be able to move away from the phrase "I move to pass this bill as written," because we're using that time to continue to talk about it, and then other people within Senate are using that time to second why they support this, or how they've worked on it, or how they know that this will benefit the student body. So I want to encourage y'all to continue to finish strong. It's been exciting from my perspective to hear a lot of exciting goals coming from each committee, and look forward to supporting y'all in this. So thank y'all for all that y'all do.
all right, that's it for announcements. So, senators, please pick up your eye clickers and click out. Press A. Hold up paper. One sec.
I'm sorry about that.
No, you're good.
There we go.
All right, 1 second while we figure this out.
Y'all keep clicking it.
Yeah, keep clicking for a second.
I don't. Two more. There we go. Okay.
All right, thank y'all for tonight. Meeting's adjourned.
Yeah, I need to ask some questions. Alright, let me ask Bruce this question.
See you.